Are you or a loved one disabled? Do you feel alone, lost, and confused as to how to win your Social Security case? If you're watching this video, it's probably because you have so many questions and you're desperately looking for the answers. Hi, my name is Avi Leibovic, and I'm the owner at Benefits for All and the lead attorney at Avi Leibovic Associates. Over the course of my 20-year career, I've overseen the processing and screening of over 500,000 disability cases, working with the largest hospitals, neighborhood clinics, primary care physicians, and even individuals who had no access to care at all. My strategies for how to win the case have made me one of the top experts in Social Security law in the entire nation. My life and my career were going great. And then one day it all came crashing down. It started first with some abdominal pains. And before I knew it, I'd been admitted to the hospital several times and I required multiple surgeries. I found myself unable to work and disabled and in desperate need of my own benefits. I understand exactly how you feel. I was in your shoes. And I'm going to take you through the process and help you and give you everything that I know so that you can win your case. I'm recovered and I'm back at work. And I have a newfound passion for helping disabled people because I myself have been there too. Call our office today for a free screening and to see how we can help you with your Social Security case. At the same time, enjoy these videos and webinars that we've prepared to you to help you understand how to win your Social Security case. Hey everyone, Avi Leibovic, and you're watching another amazing webinar brought to you by benefitsforall.com, where we help you win your Social Security disability case without having to pay the cost of an expensive attorney. I'm standing in Kansas, in the middle of Kansas, at the Buffalo Bill Cultural Center. You got Buffalo Bill, you have his horse, and clearly you have a buffalo. So let's talk a little bit about Buffalo Bill. Buffalo Bill, just history perspective, I always heard about him. I didn't really know the whole story. It's actually pretty interesting. He was born in Iowa and he settled in Kansas for a little bit, but now he's buried in Colorado if you want to go over there. And he lived from 1846, February 1846, until January 1917. He ended up passing away from kidney failure and he was 70 years old. He got the name Buffalo Bill because he actually has an amazing story. When he was young, already at 14 years old, everyone hears the story about the Pony Express, right? The old days, the Pony Express, they would deliver the ponies. At 14 years old, this guy was delivering mail for the Pony Express. From there, he just grew, his legend grew, his name grew. He became a scout, an American scout during the war. He was a Civil War hero, a bison hunter, a showman. What does it mean that he was a showman? It was a showman because he ended up, after he kind of got in his older age, and he stopped delivering the mail at 14, of course, and the war ended, and he finished with his bison hunting. He ended up becoming a showman, taking the Old West, the idea of the cowboys and the tricks of the rodeos and the lassos and the shooting. He was the real deal. He took it on the road. I guess he made like a kind of like a circus out of it, or a Western show, and he took it from round to round. And that's how he became known as the Great Buffalo Bill Showman. How did he get the name Buffalo Bill? It said that during the time when he had a contract to deliver bison meat, right, buffalo meat, it said that he killed 4,282 bison in like 18 months. Isn't that unbelievable? 4,282 bison in 18 months. That's an unbelievable number. And there actually was a dispute between him and his friend as to who would get the name Buffalo Bill. Cody, right, who was Buffalo Bill, William Frederick Cody, had an argument or a disagreement with William Comstock, who was another hunter, and they were both fighting over the name Buffalo Bill. So they had a competition, right? That's what I'm talking about. The old days, no lawsuits, settled it like men. Went out in the field, they had a competition. Who's going to kill more buffalo in a 24-hour period, right? It says that Cody killed 68, and he won, as opposed to Comstock, who only killed 48. 68 bison he killed. Isn't that unbelievable? Sorry, not 24 hours. In 8 hours. 8 hours he killed 68 bison. So here you have Buffalo Bill, a real American Western hero. We're in the middle over here of Kansas. Let's talk about the Kansas approval rates. The topic for today is Kansas disability, Social Security disability approval rates. As I do in every one of these webinars when we go state by state, we're visiting the local offices, we're making introductions, we're getting a feeling of the people, we're getting a feeling of the land. I'm not just on the internet, I'm here physically. So when you call me, I could say like, yeah, I was there. I understand the neighborhood that you live in. I understand the city, the state, the county. I understand where you're coming from. And that's what you're getting with me. You're getting a very personalized, very customized personality who's real and genuine, who wants to help you. So let's review together what we've learned in many of the webinars, and we're going to talk about the approval rates. What do we know? We know that there's an application. After the application level, what do we learn in the webinars? If you deny application, you can request a request a reconsideration within 60 days. If you request a reconsideration gets denied, you can then go ahead and request a hearing before an administrative law judge. You are correct. If you remember, there is still SSA Court of Appeals if you want to appeal the ALJ's decision. And then even after that, there's federal district court, which you can go and appeal the appeals council decision. But for right now, to keep it simple, since you're representing yourself and we're not at appeals council, we're not at federal district court, we're going to focus just on the application, the reconsideration, and the hearing. And we want to know specifically, what are my chances of winning? You know, you came, Avi Leibovic, and you told me that I could represent myself and I don't have to pay 25% or $6,000, whichever is less, if I hired an attorney. And it's true, you have all these webinars and it sounds good and I'm getting into it, but what are my chances? Let's just give it to me straight, okay, docs? Give it to me straight. So here are your chances. Let's talk about it. Well, it's actually very, very interesting in that on all of the levels, you're a little bit ahead of the rest of the nation. What do I mean? Nationally, right, across the United States, the average of approvals at the application level, referencing my notes, is 32.2%. Again, out of 100 applications, 32.2 nationally will get approved. Kansas is a touch higher, but it's still higher. You're at 34.4%. So what does that mean? That means if you apply, out of 100 people, you and 100 friends apply, only 34.4 you are going to get approved. Those are your averages in terms of your application. If your application gets denied, we go to the reconsideration level. Now, we've talked before many times that the reconsideration level is kind of used by Social Security to weed out and filter out all of the fraudulent, applications, all of the applications that really have no merit. They want to just kind of weed them out, so the denial rate is very, very high at reconsideration, and the approval rate naturally is very, very low, right? If the denial rate is high, the approval rate is going to be low. Nationally, hold on to your seats, nationally, across the country, for everyone who requests, out of 100 people who request reconsiderations, only 11.5% are approved. 89% are denied. That's a crazy number, okay? If you would go to a casino and you say, what are the house odds? You say, well, 89.5%, they're going to win. You got 11.5. Are you going to bet? You're probably not. You're going to get very, very, very nervous. I'm going to lose my bet. I got an 89.5% chance of losing. And what am I going to do? Okay, but you're disabled. You need to move forward. What's the story with Kansas? Are you at 89.5 denial rate? No. Your approval rate is 16.9. Your approval rate is a little bit higher than the nation. The nation we just said is 11.5. At least 16.9%, let's call it 17%, are going to go ahead and get approved. 100 minus 17, that's going to go ahead. It's going to bring us to what? To 83. That means you have an 83% denial rate. 83 is not great, but it's certainly better than 89, which is the nation. So finally, my good friends in Kansas, we come to the hearing, right? So first I want to say that there's good parts to the hearing and there's bad parts to the hearing section for Kansas folks. The good part is the approval rate. The bad part is the wait. So let's break it down. Nationally, across the country, the number of approvals in 2016 for all disability applications is 58.1% is approved. 58.1% is approved. In Kansas, what's your chances of winning? At hearing, 62.4. A little bit higher than 58.1. 62.4, not bad. We have some states that are in the higher 60s, some are even lower 70 win rates. Those states are very more liberal. They're more open to understanding the people or whatever it is, and they go ahead and they have a little bit higher approval rate. But yours is still higher than the nation, and it's certainly not below the national rate, because I have been in some other states where it's less than 50%. So at least you're hovering at a 62% win rate when some states are at least 12 or 14 or 15% less than you. Those states, they got big problems. The people who don't win an application have a really big, real concern, a legitimate concern that even an attorney can't necessarily get around, and that is the difficult judges, the conservative approach, and their unwillingness to necessarily go ahead and give benefits. But here at 62%, 62.4%, you're doing okay. Now that was the good news, that you're above the national average of approvals. What's the bad news? The bad news is the wait. From the time you request the hearing until your day in court, the hearing date, the national average in 2016 is 349 days. 349 days you have to wait, just about a year. What is it in Kansas? 420 days. It's an extra 71 days. It's an extra 71 days. 71 days, okay, a little bit more, two months and a week, 2 months and 10 days or whatever it is. It's not great, but we have tricks around that long wait. What are the tricks around that long wait? Well, if you download the webinars on the record decisions, you're going to have a really terrific package put together to explain to you how perhaps, not in every case, but perhaps you could use the back door and expedite your approval by telling the judge that you don't need a hearing and that you should win just based on your medical records and the fact that you match up with your medical condition exactly to what the requirements are. Okay, exactly. So where does that leave us? That leaves us over here, if you're a citizen of Kansas, saying, listen, we know that now every state takes a different amount of time based on their staffing and based on the backlog and based on the number of applications. Every state takes a little bit longer to process the applications. In some cases, it may be 3 or 4 months, very rarely. In most cases, an application determination is usually 6, 7, or 8 months. Sometimes 9 or 10 months if it takes you a long time to provide them with the papers, and you a long time to provide them with the medical records, and you a long time to perhaps show up to interviews or respond to their questions or whatever it is. You see, the quicker you work, the quicker hopefully they'll work, at least within their workforce and their capabilities. But if you are delaying everything and you're not going to the meetings, or you're not going to the consultative examinations, or you're not responding to the mail, or you're losing contact with them, or you're moving around, you're transient, you're jumping from this couch to that bed, to this house, to this neighborhood, and you can't get your mail, well then your application is going to take a very long time. But if you're quickly responding to the letters, if you're following up on your stuff, if you're getting in contact and working with them to obtain everything, you can expedite that approval time much quicker. Now, why is that important? Because my recommendation to you in Kansas is, because we know that you have 420 days exactly, from the hearing request date until the hearing date, that's more than a year. It tells us something very important. It means if you don't nail it in the beginning of the application, when it's 4 to 6 months, and since we know that you have a very high denial rate at the reconsideration, you got a super long wait, more than 2 years from the beginning to the end if you don't nail it at application. So that's why you need to watch those webinars. You need to know which forms to fill out. You need to know why you're filling them out. You need to know which offices to send it to. You need to know why you're sending it to that office. You need to keep straight the difference between the district office and the difference between the Department of, the Disability Determination Services. You have to keep straight in your head the ODAR offices, the Office of Disability Adjudication Review, the judge's office, from the district offices. Now, all this stuff, if this is your first video that you're watching, can be very overwhelming and very, very scary. What forms? How do I fill it? Where do I submit it? What's going on? Who am I? What day is today? Right? The questions just that never end. But if you're watching the webinars, we've broken it down little by little by little. There's some other information here I think it's good for all of you to know. If you need to get in contact with the Disability Determination Services, their address is 2828 Southwest Fairlawn Road, Suite 100, located in Topeka, Kansas. Now, the ODAR offices, you should know, there's a regional ODAR office here in Kansas, which will oversee a region, and many ODAR offices. But there happens to be right now the regional office, which is located in Kansas City, right, on Main Street, 1100 Main Street. That's the regional office. They probably have hearings there, as well as the chief judge for this region, who will go ahead. So you have one ODAR office. Again, the ODAR office is the office where the hearings are held. You have another office, again, in Kansas City on 2301 McGee Street, Suite 350. And then you have another one at the Topeka office. The Topeka office is at 3712 Southwest Burlingame, Suite A, right, in Topeka, Kansas. And then you have another one in Wichita. Wichita, Kansas, 3207 North Cypress Street, Wichita, Kansas. Do you have what it takes to win? I think you do. Just check out the webinars that are there. Piece by piece. A before B, B before C, C before D. Laying it all out for you. You want to hire an attorney, that's fine, because maybe you're not feeling up to it physically, emotionally, mentally. If you're not feeling well, I understand how difficult that is. And maybe you may start it and you may want to get an attorney to help you out. And if I can help, www and Benefits for All, call our office and maybe we can go ahead and we can screen you for free, take about 15-20 minutes, and maybe we can help you out. We can help with the application, with requesting the medical records, with the reconsideration, with the hearing, right? But if you want to represent yourself, if you want to save the money, if you think that you have the capabilities and the strength to do it, then these webinars, if you only knew how much these webinars, how much these webinars will help you, what the value of these webinars is. You have thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of experiences and of knowledge and of know-how and of practitioners, you know, I don't want to call it trial and error, but hands-on experience within these webinars. You can't find anything like this else on the internet. It's not there. I've looked. You have a lot of attorneys, very few have the same experience as I do and my team does. I myself have been the authorized representative for over 100,000 cases in California. How does someone have 100,000 cases? Well, I've been representing counties and all of the people in the counties for many, many years. I've been representing hospitals and the patients in the hospitals, and I've worked very, 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 very hard. So I have all that experiences. Whatever the scenario is, whatever your case issues are, whatever your roadblock or challenges in your particular case, chances are, not always, I'm not that arrogant, and I actually am very humble and I'm very grateful for everything that I have, thank God, but chances are I've seen it. I've addressed the issue. So what I'm doing now is I'm taking everything that I have and I'm just giving it to you. It's a gift. To you, take it, use it. I'm sharing it because I want you to win, because I care about your health. I don't need to do this for the money, believe me. A lot of other things I can be doing for the money besides for driving across the country and stopping at places in the middle of the night, right? But I'm having a great time and I'm getting to meet the people and I'm loving the United States, the greatest place in the world. And part of what makes us the greatest place in the world is that we have due process, that you get your day in court, that you should have justice in court. Pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, the republic which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all, right? Justice for all. Everyone gets justice. I don't care if you're old or young, man or woman, black, white, whatever color. Everyone is entitled to justice. That means a day in court. That means fairness, equality, right? And benefits for all, we've changed the word, as you can tell, benefits and justice. Instead of saying and justice for all, you're getting in benefits for all. Because to get your benefits, my friend, we're going to make sure that Social Security treats you right. We're going to make sure that all the rules, all the regulations, all the processes, all the procedures are done exactly right so you win your case. We're going to teach you how to appeal when you're wrong and you should have won, right? We're going to teach you how to go ahead and to secure that which is yours, whether it's the entitlement, whether it's the SSI that should be given to you because of your income situation, right? Income, resources, citizenship, and residency, or whether it's a Social Security disability insurance, which is based on the amount of money that you've paid in and the credits that you have over the years when you've worked. I know you can win. I know you're going to do great. Kansas has been awesome. For those of you who've never been here, come drive through. Put some good music on because there's a lot of driving, a lot of land, and it's beautiful, all of it. I saw the sunset a couple hours ago. It was just remarkable. A lot of great sights to see. I'm excited for tomorrow. Hoping to go check out, I think, the Dalton gang where they used to hide their stuff. And I think by the border there's some Dorothy thing for my kids from The Wizard of Oz. I know certainly there's a whole bunch of the mountains that we're going to go see over there. A lot of great stuff to see. I'm having a terrific time. From the bottom of my heart, I hope that you feel well. I hope you watch all these webinars. I hope you sit with a tea, with a blanket, with an ice cream, with a popcorn, with a soup, whatever you need. Put your feet up, watch it from your computer, watch it from your remote smartphone or other streaming device. You can do this. It's not so hard. The win rates in Kansas are very reasonable, okay? Just trust yourself, believe in yourself, and you're going to do great. My name is Avi Leibovic, www and Benefits for All.